Yeah, show me a company that doesn't want to triple its revenue in a very short time frame. Maybe your boss came to you and said, hey, by the end of the year, we have to double the revenue of the company. And everybody was like, yeah, how are we going to do that? Good that in this video I'm going to show you how to do just that. My name is Andrea for leadsandconversion.com, and since 2013 I've been helping companies online to make more money. Now, if you haven't been living under a rock for the past forever, you have heard of Pareto's Law, the 80-20 rule, right? And that's what we're going to use to help your company make more money. Now, I'm sure that you've heard 80% of the revenue comes from 20% of the customers. But if you are like most people, that's about it. You didn't do much with this information, right? Now, Pareto's Law basically tells us that 20% of people can spend 4 times the money. Actually, we can use this information to reverse engineer what the company should do to leverage Pareto's Law. I know this is getting a little bit complicated, so I'm going to make you a numerical example. So let's make this real. Let's say your company is selling a product or service for $100 and there are 1,000 customers. Now, it doesn't matter if these customers buy once and disappear or they are on a monthly subscription. So you could have, for example, a SaaS and every month they pay this $100. It doesn't matter for the purpose of this exercise. So this is where your service or product is priced. Now, I need to point out that for Pareto's Law to apply, 2 conditions must be verified. The first one is that there must be very many occurrences. So if you have just 3 buyers, you can't use Pareto's Law. It doesn't apply, right? So you need many buyers. And this is the easy condition. Now, the other condition is that there shouldn't be a limit to the amount of money that a customer can spend with you. This is a little bit more tricky, you see? Now, let's go back to the example. You see that if you are only selling this product here that costs $100, every customer can spend $100 with you. So it cannot happen that 20% of the customers bring you 80% of the revenue because everybody spends the same. If you are on a subscription model, that is a little bit different because the customer lifetime value will change and there will be a tendency of 20% of the customers to stick with you longer than the other 80%, so Pareto still applies. But let's see the case where you have one single product, because that can really help us to scale the entire thing and make more money for your company. So basically what we want to do, we want to add a layer of Pareto on top of the customer lifetime value, okay? Now, back to the example. This point here describes your current product market fit. So you have 1,000 people buying at $100. This single point allows us to draw a curve. It is drawn using the mathematical formula of Pareto's Law, and it has some interesting properties. You can take any point and you see you have a price here, like $250, and a number of customers here. So if I take another point, I have another price and more customers, because at lower price, more customers will buy. So basically this curve describes how many people are buying at each price. Now let's see one interesting property of this curve. The area that is under the curve represents the amount of money that there is in the market for this particular product with this particular product market fit. Okay, so this is again your product at this price point. If you are able to obtain a better market fit, it means that more people will buy at $100. So this curve actually moves like this. It moves up and the area underneath will be bigger. It's your duty to improve always product market fit, but with this one point, this is the curve we are going to draw. Now at this price point, I want you to notice that you are capturing this much money from the curve, and the pink area is all money, it's all revenue that you are not able to capture because your current price point is this. Now, if we were to add two different price points on top of the one you already have, you see what happens, that now I'm able to capture this area of the curve. So by selling a product at, for example, $400, I would capture this many people that can afford to pay this price. Same is here, like if this price would be $25, I would have about 5,000 people that can afford to buy this. And here you see that this is 100, this is 400, this is 100, and this is 25. So these points are not chosen by case, but they are chosen with Pareto's distribution in mind. So when we ask people to pay 4 times, you see, we are gonna capture 20% of this. This was 1,000, so this is 200 people. Now this area here is 400 by 200, it's $80,000. And this was $100,000, it was 100 by 1,000, right? But now they are overlapping a bit, so you're losing these 200 customers. So this is also 80, and 80 plus 80 is 160. So you see, by adding a higher price point, we basically increase the revenue of the company from 100,000 to 160,000. Now, bear with me, we'll see how to get to the price level of $400. But first, let's see the other point on the curve, which is the $25 here. So at $25, we have 5 times more people buying the product. That is 5,000. So the area of this thing here is 25 by 5,000, it's $125,000. But they are still overlapping, okay? So this area is still 80, this area is still 80, and here we are losing 1,000 by 25 is 25,000, so this area is 100. 100 plus 80 plus 80 is 260,000. And now you see how we went from one price point was making 100,000, we have 3 price points, and now we are making 260,000. Just notice that we are still not capturing some revenue under the curve, but we cannot have infinite price points. So 3 price points is way better than 1. And it's kind of the sweet spots where you want to be, at least when you start to apply this principle. Now you may think, my boss, my company will never agree to have a price that is 4 times higher and a price that is 4 times lower. They are too far apart, people will not buy, da 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 da. So I want to show you one thing, that if you take this price and you put it lower here, like let's say you want to make a price point that is $200 and a price point that is 50, you see what happens with the areas here. They are going to come closer together, and so the part that overlaps is bigger, and then it means that your revenue will go down. Now you're not making with 3 price points, you're not making 260,000 anymore, you're making 206, and you're leaving on the table 20%. So choosing your 3 price points in a way that each price tier is 4 times higher than the previous one, it's the optimal pricing strategy. Now I'm going to explain you how to go to the $400 price level and how to go down to the $25 price level. But before that, if you like this video so far, do yourself a favor and push the like button. Because if you do that, YouTube will understand that you like this video and it will show you more videos like this. Plus, I will understand that you like the video and I will make more content like this one. All right, thank you very much for pushing the like button. Let's move on. I want to show you one last thing before we get to discuss the price. Quick recap. We said that you have this product that is selling for $100 and 1,000 people are buying it. Then we agreed that by reducing the price and increasing the price, we can make more money. But now I want to show you one thing. At the price level of $400, you still have 200 people buying, right? So if we increase the price again, then we have 40 people who can buy at a price point of $1,600. Now, If you are running a SaaS company, I don't want you to think that this has to be part of your software, but this can be totally different service that your company is offering. This can be consulting, for example, for 40 people that would spend this kind of money with your company. Now, 40 people, we can still 20% that, and it's 8. Yeah, so now we have 8 people at $6,400. This also adds money to the pot. And if we were going to implement all this, we would reach 346K in revenue. That is more than 3 times what your company is making now. Now, I don't want you to have a headache and have a paralysis by analysis. How are we going to do that? So let's stick with these 3 price points, but you see how far this can go, right? So how do we get this? This is the most difficult because it's higher price point, okay? So we have to convince people to pay 4 times more. How do you do that? Well, you add value to the product. You add features to the product. So if your product right now at $100 is doing 3 things, you need to add very valuable features to the product. So for this, you need development, and it's not an easy thing to do. So it will take time to develop these features, but then you can indeed sell it for $400 because you know that Pareto's Law tells you that 20% of people has 4 times the money. So out of discussion, we can sell it, just you have to make it. So it's much easier instead to sell this, because at $25, all you have to do is to remove features from the product you currently have. So what I want you to do is to look at your product, look at your service, and think very hard, which is the one feature that people come for, that people need, the one that it really defines the product. I cannot remove that. Then you remove every other feature and you leave this one, and you sell the product for $25. Okay, so that's a very stripped down version of the product that you sell to people for $25 instead of $100. And so in the end, what I want you to do is to implement 2 price points to begin with, and one is the one you already have, and one is the one that is $25 if this is 100. So you end up with these 2 areas, and the sum of this is $200,000, which is double of what you're making today. Now, talking of time frames, here it is. So in next quarter, you are going to implement this. So when you go to talk to your boss, when you go to talk to the CFO, to the CTO, and to the product owner, you are talking about this. For next quarter, we need to strip down features from the product and sell it at $25 instead of $100. And for the next year, we need to develop features so that we can sell it at a higher price point. And this price point will be $400. So I hope this makes sense to you, and I hope you don't take it lightly, because it can really change the future of your company. And while this is it for this video, you can go and watch the next one.